What's up guys, it's Liam and today I'm going to be giving you a review of what it was like for me to be on Ninja Warrior UK. As some of you may know, I was on the season just gone and yeah, it was an incredible experience, and I thought it'd be a cool idea to share with you the behind the scenes and what it was like for me to experience this thing. And yeah, this one will be a focus on the first run that I did, and then I'll release a later episode that will go over some of the other runs that I did as well. So, all right, let's just crack right into it. They start my run off 2 obstacles in, which obviously, I mean, they don't show everyone doing the whole thing because that would be incredibly boring for the actual show. So they start me off 2 obstacles in. So I'd just done the giant ring to grab, bag, catch. I could never get the names of the obstacles right the whole way through. They tell you to remember them just in case you have to have an interview and talk about the obstacles, and they have to have the very specific names on the show, like, you know, if you're going to be aired talking about them. But I had a nightmare remembering any of them. Anyway, so straight on to...
ELLIS is up next, a videographer. He's 24 from Salisbury, Cammy.
You know, straight away you can hear my sister just yelling from the crowd, which was, you know, super, nice on the day. These rings, pretty simple. They were just swinging rings, just like doing the monkey bars, basically.
He goes across this, no danger the first one. Nice little swing to take him across.
So straight away on this, because I'd already done 2 obstacles and the pressure of everything is pretty mental, and for some reason my hands were just incredibly sweaty straight away by this point. You're not allowed to use chalk or anything like that on the day, so it's just a matter of really hoping you don't slip. And so I was hoping to just walk my hands down these pole type things, but I wasn't able to because I got there and they were just this kind of shiny plastic, foam-ish, not quite foam, but like a squidgy shiny plastic. And I was like, oh, okay, so I'm not going to be able to grab onto this. So I had to wrap my arm around for each and every one of these. So yeah, it was pretty funny to watch me doing it.
Yeah, nicely done. He's a free runner, Cammy, as opposed to you, it's just a freeloader.
Classic bants from the presenters.
Don't forget it's your round again.
You can actually see me just laughing about how ungraceful I'm doing it. I was just cracking up to myself. I was like, I've had to do this like a complete nutter.
Shelf grab, the cheese graters. The cheese graters are taken out.
Straight onto this. I mean, this was like easy part. It's just, again, just like doing the monkey bars. Again, my hands were sweaty, so that was half in the back of my mind. But apart from that, it was fine. The weird thing as well is like you have to test out the trampettes because, I mean, if you've been on a trampette, you know that they're always different. So I was in it was my first time on Ninja Warrior, so I wasn't like, oh my God, I'm going to do this as fast as I can. I was like, I just want to make it through the rounds and, have a good time. And so I walked up and tested the trampette every time because I didn't want it to like jar my back or like go wrong or anything like that. So yeah, that's something you don't really notice, but you do have to bounce off a trampette to get up there.
Taking out a couple tonight, Kieran and Teo. Come on now, Liam.
Momentum, swing.
So yeah, grabbing on the sides of this, and as because you can't really grab on the back, you have to grab on the sides if you're going to make it, and or at least near the sides. But what happens is like your fingers start to peel off. You're going on like a big swing, you're already sweaty, and your fingers start to peel off, and you're like, oh no. Luckily, I managed to hang on and then swing through.
Great height.
Strength.
And I grabbed it, and like immediately my nails actually grated down onto the red thing, and I was like, oh man, I can't believe I didn't actually like cut my nails or think about that. So that was a weird one that I've definitely changed for the next round. Was like, cut your nails, something you just wouldn't even think about, but it actually like cracked right through my nail.
Took control.
Yes!
One more lead for Liam, and it's the wall.
Really impressive.
Superhero landing. Did not intend to do that.
Between Liam and the semi-finals.
Look at that determination. Look at the top. Fire yourself up there and hit that button.
Yeah, I mean the warp wall part is actually the easiest part of the whole thing. Like they big it up because it's like the same obstacle that stays the same every time, and it's like beat the wall and all that stuff. And people think that it's like the hardest one. It's actually the easiest thing. But the only thing was that I was totally fried by the end of the first run. So I had to catch my breath, as you saw, and then I was like taking it really seriously, thinking maybe I wouldn't get up the wall, and then I ran up, and luckily it was fine. I mean, I'm a free runner, as you probably know from if you watch this channel. So this is something I've been doing for most of my life. So that was easy. Yeah, and then like, you know, I hit the buzzer, I was so happy, my arms went up straight away, I didn't even think about it. But yeah, it was great. That's my dad,
ELLIS is just the fourth
stepmom.
contestant to survive tonight's final heats. He'll be joining Tay, Dean and Calvin.
Yeah, it was nice to go back. Everyone was so friendly, like you just kind of, you made friends with everyone there really quickly. It was super easy. Like backstage, there was, for most people, there wasn't like a huge sense of like, oh, you know, I'm gonna beat you or anything like that. It was more just like everyone against the course. Everyone was super supportive, kind of going over how like each other would do each obstacle. So that was really nice. It was sort of like a good vibe backstage, which was great. Yeah, that was the one thing that, like, looking back on the videos, I was so happy about, was just seeing that that I was so happy doing the whole thing all the way through. I was like smiling and just enjoying myself. So yeah, so really, really cool experience. So some of the stuff that you don't see, like right at the start, you don't get a chance to go on the obstacles or anything beforehand. A lot of people don't know this. People think you get to test it or anything like this. You get to see the obstacles once, and then you're just thrust straight into this situation where you're, you know, you're ready, you're backstage, and then you go up these stairs, and then you come down as they introduce you, and you stand, and then you see it for the first time, face to face. And the weird thing is, like, most free runners, or even most people, just kind of look at the course and they're like, yeah, you know, I could probably do that, and myself included. And then you get there, and the first person view of it is, you just see it and you're like, okay, everything here is actually ginormous. And it's like, it's really weird to see it in real life as opposed to like on TV, for example. Yeah, and I was there. I wasn't too intimidated by the idea of it being on TV, because my generation, maybe I'd be intimidated if it was like on Netflix or something like that, but TV, we barely even watch it nowadays. So it was cool to be on, don't get me wrong, but it was like, yeah, I was all right with it. But then I got there, and like, I've never been in front of that many people doing something before. So they sit you there, you do it live in front of 3,000 people. They're all sitting in the stands right next to you. They're all very supportive, no one's booing or anything like that, but they're all cheering you on, and you're just like, you really do feel the energy of the crowd like come over you, which is crazy. I mean, yeah, you're there and you're about to go, and all of a sudden you're overwhelmed with everything. And I'm quite a calm person normally. Like, I don't usually have too much problem with this kind of stuff. But imagine, like, when you're free running or about to do something, and then all of a sudden, like, 5 people, for example, walk past that you don't even know, and they're like, oh, can you do a flip or something like this? Or like, even if they're just cheering you on to do something, you can still feel that pressure sometimes. And it's good to be able to like receive that energy. Sometimes it's like you block it out. I definitely used to be like that, where it would be kind of overwhelming, but then you can learn to accept it as something that's going to help you forward. But being egged on to do anything kind of like dangerous or risky is usually a weird thing. So you kind of have this like imbalance of your mind going on. So yeah, that in combination, what I found was it wasn't even that long of a run. Like, my cardio isn't that bad. I got to the end of the run and I was just super out of breath. And what you don't realize is that the energy of all the crowd and like doing it under pressure and everything just wipes out almost all of your cardio, which I found super interesting, because I was going in there, I was kind of like hyped up and I was like super ready to do it and like smiling and happy, and then all of that energy was like bursting through, and it made me like really out of breath by the end of the run. And I was like, when you kind of get up in front of people and you get like a bit of a about yourself, and it's like they say in boxing, like, when you get in the ring you have access to about 15% of your cardio ability, and that was definitely true of this. Definitely fully experienced that, which was crazy. They do an introduction, which you don't see on this. They introduce each player, character, whatever you want to call it, person, and you walk down the steps. And like, my introduction was, so before you do Ninja Warrior, you have to do an interview type thing, and like a challenge qualifier. So you go to this like super kitted out CrossFit gym where they test your sort of strength, stamina, and skill ability, and then you do like a piece to camera where they'll test that with you. And yeah, I did really well on the day for the fitness test. I'm always someone who's kept really in shape and value my fitness, you know, as quite a high thing in my life. And I've been a free runner since I was like 14 or so. So I did really well on those. And then what happened was they introduced me saying that I did the best on the fitness test as I was walking down the stairs. And apart from the fact that I didn't know that, which was a nice stat to have or whatever, but like all of a sudden 3,000 people are expecting really big things from you. And it was obviously my first time. I had no intention of going the fastest on the course. I just wanted to make it to the end. And this extra layer of pressure was immediately on me, which was really, really strange. So yeah, that was just like an extra component to deal with. Yeah, I don't think there's much else to say. I'll cover some more stuff in the next episode, because obviously I made it to the next round. I'll cover the semi-finals. Yeah, but overall it was like a really awesome experience. It's all held in like Manchester, and you go down, like they pay for your train and put you up in this amazing hotel. So yeah, nothing bad to say about the actual Ninja Warrior, how it was run and everything. It was super fun, everything backstage, all the people were super friendly. So yeah, it was a really great time. And the weird thing about it was actually that I was quite calm about going into it, and then all of a sudden like you pick up on other people's nerves, and then you start like feeling the nervousness yourself, even if you weren't before. And the nervousness and the excitement just kind of get mixed in, and you're there and you're like, and for me it was just like this amazing challenge experience, because it was something I'd never been up against before, something I had no intention of doing. It was just something like my mum sent me a few years in a row, and then my friend Greg, who was on it as well, he sent it to me on the same year, and I was like, well, maybe I should give this a go. And it was great thing to like test myself on, and I had a really good time. So yeah, really, really cool experience, and I'll leave you with that. I'm gonna fill you in on the, you know, how the next run went, maybe in a week or so. So come back, check that out if you enjoyed this overview. Leave me a comment if there's anything that I missed that you'd like to kind of find out about how it was for me, or for, you know, the overall thing, what it's like to be there. Yeah, if there's anything that I've missed that you really want to know, I'll cover that in the next video. Usually what we do on this channel, parkour journeys. I take my friends and we go on like some kind of excursion. I'm a filmmaker, as it said in the Ninja Warrior thing. So if you do want to check out any of the other videos, they're all over this channel, and we put a lot of effort and passion into those. So if that's up your alley, go check it out if you want to see what else we're up to. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I really enjoyed making this video. See you on the next one.